studio's chief hints at adapting non-marquee name X-Men characters. Visionary Kevin Feige has hinted that his focus is on bringing non-marquee name X-Men characters into the MCU when the Disney-Fox deal is completed. Disney's acquisition of the bulk of Fox's film and TV empire now looks a sure thing, and it's now going through the final stages of approval with international regulators. This means the X-Men and the Fantastic Four film rights could be owned by within the next 6 months. Disney has already confirmed that both franchises will become part of the cinematic universe. That means the MCU could expand at quite a substantial rate, with a whole host of new concepts added into the mix, ranging from the concept of mutants to brand new alien races like the Shia, from cosmos beings like Galactus to dimensions like the Negative Zone. But how will choose to integrate all these ideas into their shared cinematic universe without damaging its continuity? In an interview with MTV News, H/T Newsarama, Kevin Feige has suggested the solution lies with focusing in on less well-known characters and concepts. There are hundreds of names on those documents, on those agreements. As he explained, it's not just the marquee names, you know. The fact that is now as close as we may ever be to having access to all the characters is something I've been dreaming about for my almost 20 years at. It's very exciting. This comment may well imply plan to develop some of the lesser-known X-Men and Fantastic Four concepts first, and that approach would indeed make perfect sense. It's worth remembering that studios has been reluctant to retell stories, and in some cases, even to reuse characters that have already been featured on the big screen. That's why avoided origin stories for the Hulk and Spider-Man, for example, and why iconic Spider-Man villains like Dr. Octopus and the Green Goblin haven't been featured in the MCU to date. In the case of the X-Men franchise, the idea of genetic mutation has allowed writers to create an incredible number of characters, and only a small number of them have been adapted for movies to date. The success of X-Men spin-off TV shows like Legion and The Gifted demonstrates that even lesser-known X-Men concepts have a lot of potential. Has a history of making unusual and unexpected choices when it comes to their adaptations. When James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy was first announced, it was treated with general disdain. Could even make viewers care about a walking tree and a talking raccoon? While little is known of Phase 4 plans to date, they already contain quite a few surprises, the most notable being the Eternals, inspired by a little-known Jack Kirby concept. Given all this is the case, it really shouldn't be a surprise that Feige is drawing attention to the non-marquee name characters. This raises the possibility that won't initially focus on bringing characters like Wolverine, Cyclops, and Professor X into the MCU. Perhaps instead, their focus will be on some of the more esoteric concepts and characters, using them to introduce the idea of genetic mutation and then gradually building up towards the X-Men themselves. Source: MTV News.